Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Shamimi, along with my partner Muhammad Hazi, and we are from ED2493B. So before we start our presentation, I would like to thank to Dr. Roslawati for giving the opportunity for us to discover the documentary about exceptional learners. In this video, we will be discussing about Down syndrome. Down syndrome is categorized as intellectual disability and also known as mental retardation. Intellectual disability typical features is inadequate intellectual functioning. Before this, intellectual disability were identified by a lack of age-appropriate skills in learning and in caring for themselves. But nowadays, they have developed intelligence tests, also known as IQ tests, to identify these type of exceptional learners. The definition of intellectual disability is a condition with an onset before age that involves low intelligence and difficulty in adapting to everyday life, consists of managing their dressing, toileting, and feeding. What is Down syndrome? Other than Down syndrome, it is also known as trisomy 21. It is categorized as genetic disorder, and this disorder is caused by the presence of all or part of a third copy of chromosome 21. And different with normal people who have total of 46 chromosomes, they have 47 chromosomes. Usually, Down syndrome people are associated with physical growth delays, mild to moderate intellectual disability, and the same characteristic facial features. We have watched a documentary that was established on 2018, and the documentary discovered about life of Mauve, Joe, and Laura. Now let me introduce you to Mauve. She is the daughter of Irene and Michael, and she is the youngest child in her family, and on 2018, she was 6 years old. Here are some journey of giving birth on Maeve. In the documentary, her mom said there's nothing much happened during the pregnancy. There's no indication and they have no clue that the baby will be Down syndrome. And during the birth, everything normal. After the birth, she grew up just like the other kids. She fed and slept very well, but she started to walk a bit late, which is 2.5 years old. Usually, infants will start to walk from 9 to 18 months and start to reach milestone when they are 2 years old. Maeve can do so, but it takes a little bit more time and her parents need to put more effort for her. Maeve starts to go to school. Since she is a Down syndrome student, teachers and other friends give her more attention and help her into the details. At some point, she was like, "It's okay. You can leave me alone. I can do it by myself. I'm faster now." And not just that, even she knew at the school, the teachers give a lot of compliment. They said she settled very well into everything in the school. Plus, her mom said she loves to learn and she learned very well even with her disability. With all that I've stated here, we can relate it with scaffolding from Vygotsky theory, which means changing the level of support. The teacher had the school support and guide her a little bit more than the others since she was known to be intellectual disability student. The teacher can see that she didn't want to be treated indifferently with the other friends. So from that, the teachers give her some space to be independent on her own. Also, we can relate with Erickson's lifespan development, which is industry versus inferiority. This stage happens on Maeve's age. From the documentary, she got a lot of compliments in learning, especially. This can influence her to become more hardworking, more industrious in any task. Actually, Maeve went to school where normal children go. The environment is a bit different and challenging for her with her disability. However, her mom gave her big support and trained and give her opportunity to thrive. This is because at the end of the day, she wants Maeve to be like other normal children, even if it's not in the process of learning. She wants her to be independent, benefit, and contribute to community. Here we can relate with another theory which is microsystem from Bronfenbrenner's ecological theory. Microsystem is the setting where individuals spend considerable time. As for this case, we can categorize Maeve's mom as one of the microsystem, and she played an important role to build the confidence and self-esteem in Maeve. Moving on to the next person, Joe. On 2018, he was 46 years old, and 2016, He moved out from his family house and joined a local Chivers Town Community House. It is a voluntary organization that provides a wide range of residential, respite, and day services to those with intellectual disability. They also committed to a future which respects the contribution and inclusion of people with an intellectual disability within the community. From there, he get helps from his coach, Ivan Butler. Plus, he learned various skills from that. Joe do part-time jobs. He is a DJ of West Dublin SS Radio and cleaner at music section in Griffith College. Even he is a Down syndrome person, he still can do a lot of job like normal person. Related theory here is Bronfenbrenner's again, but different system, which is macro system. Normal people has the ability to pursue study in further level, but it is hard for him. With that qualification, normal people can get a better job in the industry and get higher salary. But as for Joe, the salary of his jobs is not that much, but it can bring joyful in his life by meeting people and interact with them. What I want to relate here is we normal people must be aiming for higher salary because we have so much to do with the money, such as giving alimony to our dependents. But different with Joe, his objective to involve in working is just to bring happiness and joyful in his life. Next, I will pass to my partner Haziq.
So next, Joe joins cooking class with his coach Boy Butler. For sure, it takes a long time for him to learn on how to cook. As an example, it takes him about 4 weeks to just open a tin of beans, but surprisingly, Joe can cook a dinner for 6 to 8 people after 12 months of learning. The theory that can be related to Joe's situation is Erickson's lifespan development theory, which is initiative versus guilt. It is developed by exploring and accepting challenges. Initiative is the capability to devise actions or projects and a confidence and belief that it is okay to do so, even with a risk of failure or making mistakes. Meanwhile, guilt means feeling that it is wrong or inappropriate to instigate something of one's own design. Based on this theory, he is so encouraged to cook that he doesn't care about being messed up or anything while cooking, which is the meaning of the initiative. Now let's move on to the third individual, which is Laura. A simple background on Laura: she lives in Glamorgan County Cork. She is 14 years old, teenage girl. Oh, she loves One Direction. She is One Direction fan. She loves to play piano also. In the video, we can see that she plays Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars song on the piano. And then lastly, she joins many classes, which are swimming on Monday night, 8 to 9 o'clock, and then dancing, and then gymnastic. She joins the class, the gymnastic class, until she is qualified into an international gymnastic competition in England. Laura is so excited for the summer holiday, and she is preparing her needs for backpacking with her friends. Her father taught her on how to polish her own shoes before going to backpacking. Her father said that some people take it for granted, but it's not that easy for Laura to do those things. And it takes a lot of coordination and repetition for her to manage to polish her own shoes. In this case, we can relate Laura with Vygotsky theory, which is upper limit zone of proximal development. Even though her father has guided her slowly and repeatedly, but she still needs more time and repetition to succeed in polishing her shoes. Laura managed to find a spot to join the international gymnastic competition in England. Her parents took a huge step and stated that it would have been the furthest thought from their minds to let her go alone into an international gymnastic competition, especially to a foreign country. But they believe that independence is the first step of letting go for their children to have their own life. Erickson's lifespan development theory, autonomy versus shame and doubt, is the theory that can be related to this situation. Autonomy means self-reliance. This is independence of thought and a basic confidence to think and act for oneself. Shame and doubt is inhibit self-expression and developing one's own ideas, opinion, and sense of self. By having independence fostered with love and support by her parents, surely Laura will achieve autonomy that have been stated earlier. With her hard work and excellent performance, she is the second runner-up in that competition although it is her first time joining it. Not just her, everyone around her are happy and proud with her achievement. As soon as she arrives at the airport from England, her whole family congratulate her for doing such an amazing job in that competition. The related theory to be discussed is Erikson's development theory, which is industry versus inferiority. Industry here refers to a purposeful or meaningful activity. A person who experiences the satisfaction of achievement of anything positive will move towards successful negotiation of this crisis stage. As for the person who experiences failure, quite naturally is prone to feeling inferior and useless. After receiving such success and recognition, of course, Laura will continue to move forward in the future. Moving on to the similarities between those three individuals, firstly, Maeve, Joe, and Laura are independent persons. They try to do things by themselves, but if they stuck at something, they would ask for others' opinion. Furthermore, they are ambitious, passionate, and want to try so many things even though it is hard. Instead of giving in, they will do their best until they manage to have the finest result. Last but not least, they can blend in well with others, especially Joe, because he is a good communicator and friendly. Move on to the differences between Maeve, Joe, and Laura. Maeve goes to school where normal children go. Maeve can be considered as an intelligent kid as she can compete with the normal children in the classroom. Maeve also suffered a serious disease named sleep apnea. It caused her airways to be closed during her sleep and makes her hard to breathe. As for Joe, he he has availed of these services by voluntary and charity organization. The group provides a wide range of residential and respite services as well as vocational training and employment programs for the adults with physical and intellectual disabilities. He always has a positive view on his life and consider the challenges can be endured and lift up his spirit. Lastly, compared to Maeve, Laura is a premature baby and the doctor thinks something was amiss. And then, after a period, she is confirmed to be Down syndrome. Laura is not only active in her classroom but also excels in sports such as swimming, dancing, and gymnastics. She also excited and happy to do the things that she loves and always tries to have fun in everything she does. So that's it. Those are some of the differences between them that can be seen from the documentary. So as the conclusion, we use these theories to relate the daily life situation faced by Maeve, Joe, and Laura. The first theory that we use is Brenner's ecological theory, which consists of microsystem and macrosystem. And then the second one, Vygotsky theory, which consists of scaffolding and then upper limit zone of proximal development. And then the last one, Erikson lifespan development theory, which consists of industry versus inferiority, initiative versus guilt, and then the last one, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Based on this theory, we know that they are not limited only for a normal person. They also can be used for the disabilities, but it is also depends on their level of acceptance. So we need to determine first what is the level of acceptance of the disabilities at the current moment. So these are our references used in this video presentation. And that's all from me, Muhammad Haziq, and my partner Shamimi. Before we end this video presentation, let's watch a short clip of Maeve, Joe and Laura from the documentary to have an idea what is it all about. Thank you for your time. Assalamualaikum.
Doing her writing, doing her reading. She's very able to learn, but she needs the input. She knew how to read before she went to school, which some people would be very surprised at. She's reading. I said, well, yeah, she can learn, because she was taught in a particular way, visually. She's really improved hugely over the number of weeks that I've sat with her one-on-one. So it's proven to me that if you put in the input, give her the opportunity, she will thrive.
She settled very well into senior infants. This is only the first term, but she's settled very well and we're getting to know her.
How many, Maeve? 5. Good girl.
Foz works with her on a one-to-one. Well, Foz is shared with another child, so I suppose Foz does her best to work with her as often as she can, and sometimes Maeve will tell her, you know, I don't need any help, you can leave me now, and Foz will walk away, which is great. Yeah.
She likes her independence.
She does like her independence, yeah. And she's aware, I suppose, that she has Down syndrome, but she doesn't want to be treated any differently to any other child.
Yeah.
I always wanted her to go to a mainstream school. It's very important for her because she will learn from other children. She'll model behaviour from the other children.
Over the last 25 years, 46-year-old proud Dubliner Joe Feely has availed of day services by voluntary and charity organisation Cheeverstown. The group provides a wide range of residential and respite services, as well as vocational training and employment programmes for adults with physical and intellectual disabilities. Just over 2 years ago, Joe moved out of his family home and into a local Cheeverstown community house, where he has learned a variety of new skills with help from his coach, Yvonne Butler.
Over the last 12 months, I've had the honour of working with Joe in getting him involved in independent living skills, which he's doing extremely well in. He's cooking, he's cleaning, he's taking care of his own laundry now that was done for him for a very, very long time. He is now basically doing a lot more for himself.
Television.
I thought you might miss us.
Angie.
Yeah, big step, like, you know, and I mean, you know, if you had asked me, I suppose if you asked the two of us maybe all those years ago, like 14 years ago when she was born at 14, would she be going off to a gymnastics competition in England? It would have been the furthest thought really from her mind, you know.
Absolutely.
You know.
So, as you say, independence is the first step, and it's part of letting go, and like any other teenager, it starts at 13, 14.
You know, sometimes it's probably more hard for the parents about the whole idea of letting go. You'll have your worries, but like this is a huge step up for us now, like that she's doing this, like really, you know, and please God she'll do other things as well. This is the start, really, you know.
Well, she's quite competitive. She'd like to come back with a medal. But you know, the emphasis this weekend really, as Ely and all the coaches say, like it's a fun weekend. You know, they will do their best, and it's very much geared towards having fun. And you know, they're not kind of overemphasising the competitive end, even though once they do their best. But Laura would love to win a medal, but whatever the outcome, she'll have a good time.
Love you, Dad.
Love you too, Todd. See you, lads. See you, Meg. See you,